Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. I'm Edmund, and I'll be guiding you through this evening session. Now, whether you're joining in your pajamas with a cuppa or suited up and serious, no judgment either way, welcome to the Medlink Students webinar. Now, we're genuinely excited to explore how you can take your first steps toward medical or dental career abroad. You might be closer to your dream than you think. Whether you're in your early research or just already applying to universities or considering, tonight is about giving you the clarity, the confidence, and the practical guidance. So let's dive in. So, as I mentioned, I'm Edmund. I'm one of the academic advisors here at Medlink Students. Now, over the years, I've helped thousands of students secure places, just like you, at leading dental and medical schools across Europe and the Caribbean. Now, joining me tonight are two familiar faces. Dana, our expert academic advisors, who's guided countless of students through this process, and Daniela, one of our brilliant admission specialists who makes application feel like a breeze. Now, tonight, we're going to make the journey feel less overwhelming and, dare I say, even exciting. Now, we're also joined by university representatives and students from across Europe and the Caribbean who will give you the first-hand insight on what's really like as an international student abroad. Now, the students you hear from have lived and breathed this journey. They'll be sharing their experiences, real life, unfiltered, from applying with Medlink students to landing into a new country, adjusting into student life, and facing challenges and finding their stride. Now, you'll get to hear from them what a typical day looks like for them, uh, how we supported them, the support that they received, and really what they wish they knew before they started. So it's a chance for you to see that this path and what it looks like, not just in theory, but in real life. And then from the university representatives, you'll hear what makes their institutions unique and how they support international students and how they can help shape the next generation of global dentists and doctors. Now, if you'd like a copy of tonight's slide, including everything that we'll cover, go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen. That way you can just sit back, relax, listen in, refer back to everything later on. Now, before I jump in, a little teaser. We've brought back something that's quietly made a big difference for hundreds of students. What exactly is it? Well, let's say you'll want to be here until the end. It's exclusive, it's quite limited, and it could make your journey a whole lot easier. Now, here's what we're going to cover tonight: who we are at Medlink Students and how we support students like you, why studying medicine and dentistry abroad could be an opportunity of a lifetime. Now, what to expect from tuition fees, living expenses, and admissions. Practical advice to help you start your journey. And of course, direct insight from university representatives and the students who've already made that leap. And then we'll finish with a live Q&A session where you get to ask us anything from deadlines to day-to-day life abroad. Now, let's start with the big question. Who are we? And why do so many students trust Medlink students to guide them on this journey? Dana, tell them our story.
Today, we will go over who we are as Medlink students and what our organization consists of before we dig into discussing more details about you achieving your dream. Every journey you take in life begins with a step. And we are Medlink students here, established by a group of doctors and dentists, have walked through this journey every step of the way that you're trying to take here. Our doctors face the same challenges that you are facing now, which is very competitive schools and limited spaces and very high and expensive tuition fees, which is why they have decided to establish Medlink students here to help you achieve your dream facing the minimum challenges. We have a huge team of experts here, from doctors to expert admission team to a great friendly team of students to help you when you arrive to Europe, wherever you want to study in. And all that is put together by Medlink students to help you achieve your dream with no challenges. Our doctors have carefully handpicked the top universities that offer medicine in Europe, and we have partnered with them to make sure we help you study at one of the top schools and also make sure it is a smooth journey for you, and not just smooth, but also full of fun. So you can have the experience that you will never have in your life. Now, our organization, what does it consist of? Expert doctors and dentists who have done the research for you and chosen the most popular and prestigious medicine and dentistry schools, to a team of advisors that are always there to help you have a call with you and understand more about where you want to study and what your qualifications are, to give you the best chance and choose the most suitable university for you. And what's a better fit is we have a team of expert admission team that work directly with the university to help you create a strong competitive file and handle all the paperwork for you to make sure we secure your admission at one of these universities that is one of your choices. And finally, a team of on-ground support to help you when you relocate. So when you choose the university you want to study in and the country, and you're accepted there, with the help of our admission experts, we have a team put in place on ground in that country to help you as soon as you arrive there. We pick you up at the airport, help you settle into the country, take you for a tour, introduce you to the place, to make sure you settle into the university. From the minute you settle in to the minute you graduate, we will be with you every step of the way. Now, we're going to go over some of the benefits of going abroad, and that's a very exciting slide. After speaking to hundreds of students and hearing their stories when they go abroad, they tend to tell me what they are enjoying there. And there are many benefits of studying abroad. We will go through some of them now. One of the benefits is the affordable tuition fees. Many times students can't study in their home country because they can't afford to pay the tuition fees there. In Europe, there are many universities that have reasonable tuition fees that can suit your budget. In addition to the quality of education, you can be studying at one of the top universities and getting a high standard of education, enjoying or among an international environment where you get to meet people from all over the world. One of the other advantages of going abroad is the flexible admission requirements. Also, we do get a lot of students that sometimes come to us and they can't get into medicine in their home country or to dentistry because they don't meet the requirements. Europe is known to have more flexible admission requirements. So if you don't have biology, for example, and chemistry in your high school, we're able to help you find a school. Or if you don't have A's, we're still able to help you find a suitable school for you to help you achieve your dream and study medicine or dentistry in English language. Many times we get students saying, do I have to learn a new language to go abroad? The courses are fully taught in English and they are globally recognized. So when you study there, one of the benefits is that you can study and be able to return home to your country to practice there. Another advantage I'd like to mention here is the variety. You can apply to a university or to 2 universities or maybe to 3. So you can apply to more than one university, and these universities all are known and students love them because they have very modern facilities. They're well established. They have prepared the facilities very well for you to make sure you get the best hands-on experience while you're there. Now, later on in the webinar, we'll hear from other students more about these schools and what they love about going abroad. I want to bring Edmund back in to tell us more about what drives UK students to go abroad.
Thank you, Dana. So let's take a look at a bigger picture for a moment. Every single year, more and more students from the UK, and increasingly other countries too, are choosing to study medicine abroad. And not only are they studying successfully, but they're also returning back to the UK to practice as fully licensed doctors. In fact, over half of the newly registered doctors with the General Medical Council in the recent years have all earned their degrees outside of the UK. Crazy, huh? Now, that alone speaks volumes. Now, picture it. Thousands of graduates each year from places like Georgia, Hungary, Poland, and even the Caribbean. They're all making their way back to the UK, Ireland, and beyond to begin their careers here. Now, this isn't just a side route anymore. It's one that's become the most trusted proven paths. Why is that? Well, because the universities abroad, they offer the ability to apply flexibly. They have more affordable tuitions. They have high academic standards with all the courses taught in English. And most importantly, all of these degrees lead to the same career opportunities as those awarded in the UK. So whether you're tuning in from London, Lagos, Dubai, Dallas, Dublin, or Paris, or Amsterdam, just know this. The path is open and it's working, and it could work for you too. Now, let's unpack how medical degrees are structured in Europe. Most European programs, they last 6 years and are split into two core phases. The first 3 years, this is where you master the preclinical sciences, they call it. Anatomy, physiology, pathology, biochemistry. These are your foundation years. Now, in the final 3 years, you transition into the hospitals and the clinics, where you'll train directly with patients and doctors. Now, this is the practical hands-on experience. Now, that's not to say the first 3 years you won't do that. You get to have some hands-on experience, which gives you very good understanding of what to expect in those final years. When you graduate, you earn the degree title of MD, which is Doctor of Medicine. And this is an internationally recognized degree. And all of it is taught in English, and you'll be able to register in the UK as well with the General Medical Council. Now, it's the same level of training, but with a lot more available spaces and flexibility to get you started. Now, for those interested in dentistry, the structure is quite similar. Now, most dental degrees in Europe span between 5 to 6 years. And here's how they typically are divided. The first first year to three, you learn dental science, anatomy, and then you work with simulation tools. The final 3 years, you treat real patients under supervision, of course, in the dental clinics, which have equipped with cutting edge tools. And then you graduate, you finish with a Doctor of Medicine in Dentistry, which is DMD, or Doctor of Dental Surgery, which is DDS, depending on the country or the university. Now, both degrees that you earn are internationally recognized in most countries and in the UK. So again, this is something that we support you when you come back. So just like medicine, these degrees will allow you to go to the US, you can go to Canada also. So I get asked a lot of these questions. Now, for those of you who have a degree, essentially, so let's say you have a degree in a science-related field. Now, you're not starting from scratch. You don't need to take the long road. That's where the graduate entry course comes in. Now, these accelerated programs typically last 4 years instead of the 6 years, and they're designed for students who have studied subjects like biomedical sciences, medical biochemistry, nursing, physiotherapy, and a whole host of degrees. These are things that we can assess, of course. Now, this is intense. They move quickly, and they're ideal for you if you've already built a strong academic foundation and you're really ready to shift gears into medicine or dentistry. So we've had students that have taken this route and have finished and returned. They're now practicing, they're now thriving. And it's proven fast, and it doesn't mean that you have to rush your studies. It just means it's focused. Now, of course, not every journey is straight line. Sometimes things change, whether it's financial, whether it's academic, or whether it's personal. And sometimes transferring universities becomes the best option for you. And it's something we're seeing more and more of. Students find an option and then they realize it's not quite the right fit for them. And that's okay. And what matters is knowing that there is a way forward. Now, to talk you through this, I'd like to invite back Dana, who's going to tell you how the transfers work and how we make the transition a lot more smooth and supported, and you can focus on your studies.
In many cases, transferring can be the solution or the best solution for you. A lot of times students approach us and tell us that they would like to transfer to a different university to continue their studies. And it could be, as Edmund said, a reason like the student's not happy at the university they have chosen. financial reasons, maybe family reasons. Now, majority of the students with us today are looking into first year entry of October 2025. However, we do still get students that approach us to transfer. In case you're one of these students, then I want to reassure you that it is possible to transfer, and transfers are recommended up to year 3, where it works based on recognition of subjects. So we recommend you to contact one of our expert advisors to check your qualification and advise you which university would be the best for you. So if you're one of the students that wants to transfer, it's a reassurance for you here that it is possible to transfer. Now, let's go over the living costs and the tuition fees when going abroad, because that's a very common question we get from students, is how much is it going to cost me to go abroad? And as it is a very big step and a big commitment, the good news is that whatever your budget is, we are able to help you find a university where you can continue your studies at a top university with very reasonable fees that suit your budget. Now, another common question we get from the students when we speak about the budget is, does it mean if a university has higher tuition fees, then it's a better quality of education I'm going to get? The answer here is no. Tuition fees are related to the economical situation of the country that the university is located in. So sometimes we have, as we can see in front of you on the screen, we have a list of universities where you can see the tuition fees per year, and they range starting from 4,000 euros a year, can go up to around 30,000 euros a year. And on the opposite side of the screen, you can see the living expenses in each country. So that's how we see that, for example, in Georgia, all the universities have the same range of the tuition fees or close by. It's due to the economical situation of that country. Same thing for Romania or Serbia or Bulgaria or Italy. So you can see in front of you on the screen here. Now, whatever your budget is, don't worry, we are able to help you study at a top university, having worldwide recognition without having any financial burden on you or your family. And you can still achieve your dream and become a phenomenal doctor. Now, next up, we will discuss what the admission requirements are and how we help you. I want to bring in one of our senior admission specialists, Daniela, to tell us more about this. Daniela?
Hello everyone, I'm Daniela from Medlink Students admissions team. I've been supporting medical and dental students throughout the journey for several years now, and I am so excited to see so many of you here taking the first steps in your medical or dental career. I am sure you have plenty of questions about the university admissions, and especially questions about how your unique circumstances fit into this process. So I just wanted to tell you first that whichever program you are interested in, whether it's medicine or dentistry, we will be here to help you and guide you in making the right decision. Now, the entry requirements for most programs include a high school diploma with strong grades in subjects like biology, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. If you don't have them, don't worry. There are universities that focus on offering an opportunity to all aspiring doctors. If you are not a native English speaker, you might be required to provide an English proficiency certificate, and depending on your university of choice, you may also be required to sit an exam or go through an interview at the application stage. We will prepare you for either with tailored preparation materials specific to the university that you are applying to. Of course, you can apply to more than one university at the same time. If you have already finished your high school education and started a medical program, and for one reason or another you are considering transferring, that's certainly an option. In this case, you also need to provide us with your university transcript and your syllabus. I know that choosing a university is very exciting and it feels like a big decision, and that's because it is. And that's exactly what our advisors are here for, to guide you in narrowing down the choices and help you make the best decision based on your unique circumstances and priorities. Whether your priority is the school location, affordability, or specific academic or practical training opportunity, we are here to guide you. We work with over 100 top medical and dental universities in Europe and in the Caribbean as well. And these connections that we have built means that we are always up to date with the entry requirements. And of course, we know the admission process inside and out. I know that the application process can feel overwhelming from preparing for your entrance exam to getting your documents in order and even participating in an interview. And that's why we are here to help you make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Is the process challenging? Yes, it is, but it's also incredibly rewarding. It's not just about completing the program and becoming a doctor or a dentist. It's also about making a difference in people's lives. So we are very excited to be a part of your journey, and we are here to help you. Back to you, Edmund.
Thank you so much, Daniela, showing how smooth the journey can be. I know when I see the guys work very hard with the applications, it's certainly not easy, but it's very, very, very much rewarding. So by now, you've just seen how many routes there are into medicine and dentistry, whether it's the 6-year degree for medicine, whether it's the graduate entry or even transferring from one school to another. But one question we often get, where are students actually going? Now, every year we work with thousands of applicants. And from that, we get a clear picture of the most in-demand universities among students just like you. Now, these aren't just popular, they're proven. And these universities offer, world-class education with very, very good facilities. Courses that are taught in English, of course. Now, these degrees are globally recognized. They have supporting, welcoming environment, very, very safe countries. And it's really, really, really great universities for students. Now, here are a few for this year's topics. So we've got places in Georgia, TMA. We've got Novi Sad in Serbia. You've got places in Latvia. You've got Bulgaria. We have Czech Republic. There's so many universities that we can think of this year. You've got places in Hungary as well. And then, of course, you've got universities in the Caribbean. Now, these are just a few of them. And these universities have very strong academic reputations as well. They've been going for many, many years. They have modern facilities. They have a diverse student community as well. And most importantly, they provide real opportunities. Now, for students from all walks of life, and to really launch your medical career in medicine and dentistry. Now, up next, that you've seen the universities where the students are applying, we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Next, we'll look at the universities one by one with insight from the university representatives and the students, so you can get a feel for what really is like to study there and which one could be the right one for you. So let's get started. Now, the first university, which is on the spotlight, that's you'll know very well. This is UMCH in Hamburg, Germany. We have a strong, long-standing partnership with this university, and it continues to be one of the exciting destinations for students looking to study medicine in Europe. Why? Well, because it offers the full package: modern teaching spaces, clinical placements across Germany, and a curriculum that meets the highest academic standards. Now, the program is taught in English, of course, and the students are immersed in the German healthcare system, which is one of the most advanced in the world. Now, admissions are already open, and they operate on a first-come, first-served basis. They do have an entrance test and an interview, but when you apply with Medlink Students, we'll prepare you with the exclusive materials to help you be confident and ready for this. Now, tonight, we're joined by Faisal, who's an academic advisor from UMCH, who will give us a closer look at what makes the university special. Faisal?
Yeah, thank you, Edmund. As Edmund said, my name is Faisal. I'm one of the academic advisors at the UMCH. And, today I'll just give you guys a rundown of, who we are and what we offer and how one can apply. So if we move on to the next slide. So the UMCH is situated in Hamburg, Germany. So Hamburg is the second largest city in Germany, and it's located in the north. And the picture you see is our campus in Hamburg. Next slide, please. So what we offer is a 6-year degree program in medicine taught entirely in English. And we are actually the first university in Germany to offer medicine in English. And the good thing about our program is that we also teach you German whilst you're on campus. So for 6 years, you'll also be learning German because that is important for the clinical part of the training. Now, the 6 years are split into 2 phases. You have phase 1, which is the first 2 years, and it's called the preclinical phase. And phase 2 starts from years 3 and goes on to year 6, and that's the clinical phase. First 2 years, you're doing theory on campus, and then from the 3rd year onwards, you would be doing your hands-on practical training in one of our 40 teaching hospitals located in Germany. Now, coming to our study concept. So as you can see, this is a picture of one of our labs, and we teach in small groups. So in each class, there will be 20 to 25 students, and that leads to students knowing their professors on a first name basis, and also encourages active participation in the lectures. So basically, just imagine doing medicine in a classroom type of environment. Our lectures are very hands-on, and all our students have their own equipment and workstations, and you're basically learning medicine by doing. So it's not just theory as other universities where you're learning from a book, you're actually learning medicine by doing. And we do have a very high-tech campus in Hamburg. All our lectures are live streamed and recorded and then uploaded onto our university platform where students have access to the lectures 24/7. And another good thing about the small teaching groups is that you have access to your professor. So before, during, and after the lecture, you can make appointments with them and sit down with them and go through anything you didn't understand. As you can see on the slide, we do have 3D anatomage tables. We have one in each lab. I think we have about 3 right now, and 4th one's on its way. And we use these in anatomy, where the students learn anatomy and learn how to dissect and learn about the human body using, the technology that we have on the campus. Other than that, I mean, even though we are located in Germany, we do have a very international campus with students coming from 40 different nationalities. And that leads to, the campus being a melting pot of different cultures as well. So coming here, studying here, you're bound to meet people from all walks of life, and you can really make long-lasting friendships with your fellow students here at the UMCH. The next slide, please. We do have a lot of extracurricular and leisure activities, and we are always organizing events, be it gala dinners, be it student parties, fresher parties, or also extracurricular TED Talks, so where we invite specialists and experts from all different fields of medicine, and they come onto campus and they give a talk about their subject, and you also would have the opportunity to network with these specialists as well. Overall, the city of Hamburg is a beautiful city. It's a city where you experience all seasons, all 4 different seasons, and there's something for everyone. So if you're into museums, we have museums. If you're into nature, we have a lot of nature. If you're into food and drinks, there's a lot of nice cafes and restaurants here. And students that are into going out and parties, we have the famous Reeperbahn or St. Pauli area in Hamburg that is known for its clubs. That's just a breakdown of who we are from my side. And then we do have a student of ours, Sohani, who's in her 2nd year. And I'm sure you'd appreciate the insights she gives you guys as well.
Thank you so much, Faisal. That was a great overview. It makes me want to go to Hamburg now and study and enjoy the experience. Thank you so much. All right. So, as Faisal said, we have a student who's a second year medical student, and she'll be sharing what life's really like over there. So you don't just take our word for it. So, honey, are you there?
Yes, hello Edmund.
Hello. Lovely to have you join us.
Likewise.
All right. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling excited to talk and to help many of the students that are here right today in the meeting.
Ah, brilliant. It's always good to have the students join us. You'll know exactly what this means to all the students that are watching. So, just to kind of kick off from now, when you started your journey, just like most students are looking, you go online, you research the universities, you think, okay, which one is the best one for me? Which one is better? How do I know which one to go for? What made you decide UMCH was the one for you?
That's a good question. So, like you said, you first go on the internet and search the top universities. So I was one of them. I searched the best university in Germany, and the first thing that popped up was UMCH, and the best thing was that UMCH offers medicine in English language, and I also loved the study structure here, where we have smaller learning groups, which makes me interact with the professors better, and like it really helps me understand the topics in depth. And honestly, even the professors enjoy teaching us this way, and it helps them remember our names, and we have like a bond, which is really special. And all the lectures and practical classes are recorded, so which helps me during the exams to review the topics multiple times. So this was something that attracted me towards UMCH, and other reasons were this university has a diverse group of people. We have a South Asian Society a club where we celebrate our festivals together. So it's not only for South Asians, but there are people from different cultures where we celebrate so many different festivals together. We go out, we do potlucks. So it really feels home. So when you're far away from home, you still feel like, okay, you have your people. So these were my reasons.
That's really good to hear, and then thank you for sharing that. I know it's never easy going abroad, and it seems like you've settled in quite well. Now that you're there, what's been the experience been like for you, both socially and academically?
I'll start with academically. So my experience here at UMCH was really nice. So of course, the study, like medicine in itself, is not easy, but here it's like so well structured, where we combine the theory and the practical applications together. So it starts with the lectures in the morning, and then whatever you learn in theory is directly implemented in practical in the same day. So you get to remember the theory, but also implement it in the practical labs, like on our anatomy table, to practice dissecting the cadavers or perform experiments at the labs. So this way you really understand the topics and also remember it for a longer period of time, and it helps you remember it for the exams as well. And so yeah, and even the professors, they make sure to make time for us every single day to clarify our doubts. And socially, I would say, of course, like I said, there are different clubs, like our South Asian club, but at the same time, we have various events which are hosted by different doctors. We have clubs like music and dance, where you can bond with other students from the upper years or the lowers, and this way you get to make new experiences with them.
Really good. That sounds really exciting. And I think that the groups and the societies really make the students feel welcome and at home as
Yeah.
well, which is great. So, whenever I speak to students, and I speak to lots of students from all walks of life, the number one thing that always comes to mind, just besides looking for the school, is safety. How welcoming and safe have you found the city as an international student?
To be honest, I find Hamburg one of the safest cities in Germany. It has a nightlife, a vibrant nightlife, I would say. So if there are times where I have traveled late in the night, and during these hours, as a woman, you kind of feel unsafe. But I have not felt that in Hamburg because there are always people around. The public transportations are reliable, and even the local community, they are very friendly, accommodating. They are always there to help you out. So I found it really safe as a woman, especially.
Yeah, that's very important and very reassuring. I know a lot of students that watch, some of the female students are really worried about going out in the evening by themselves to maybe even study, and they're worried what it will be like because they're leaving their families. Now, of course, you've done it. You've taken that step to go abroad. You're now a medical student. Now, there'll be some students that are watching that are still a little bit nervous about taking that step. What advice would you give to someone who's watching tonight and they're considering studying abroad, but they're still a little bit unsure whether it's studying at UMCH or just going abroad to study in general? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it's okay to feel unsure, of course, because this is a decision that you need to think a lot about. And about studying abroad, I would say it helps you grow as a person in ways that you cannot even imagine. You meet amazing new people, you'll gain independence, which is really important for us women to have independence in this life, to learn how to do things by yourself, and of course, get like a world-class education, which is provided by UMCH here. And it might feel scary at first, but trust me, like it's really worth it at the end of the day.
Thank you so much. That was really reassuring and very inspiring. I'm sure you'll stay back for that. There's some questions that are coming in for you, but if you're here for the Q&A, we'll have some students asking you. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. All right, so let's continue our spotlight. There's so many reasons, of course, to study at UMCH. I'm sure listening to the representatives and Suhani is giving you even more reasons to go to the school. So let's continue. One of our student universities and the most trusted and most consistent university for our students, which is TMA, Tbilisi Medical Academy. Now, we've built a strong partnership with the university over the years, and there's a reason why it continues to be the top pick for our aspiring students. Now, TMA offers a modern English-taught medical program with a clear structure. They have an approachable entry requirement and an incredible supportive academic environment for our students. Now, there are two main intakes a year. They have the spring and the autumn option, and the admission process includes an interview. But don't worry, if you're applying through Medlink Students, who's the official partner of the university, we'll make sure you're fully prepared and confident going in. Now, what really stands out at TMA is their hands-on approach. From the early years, students are introduced to clinical thinking and then the practical experience to prepare them for the life that you get into after graduation. Now, we're delighted to be joined by Professor Ear, who's the Vice Rector at TMA, who's going to give us a closer look at what makes the university such a great place to study medicine.
Hello, Edmund. Thank you very much for introduction. So my name is Iya Valiani. I'm Vice Rector for International Cooperation, and I'm very happy to meet all your students. With Medlink, we are working already for a couple of years, and we're always getting exclusively well-prepared students. So we're always happy to cooperate with you. As about TMA, Tbilisi Medical Academy, so we are one of the first private medical schools in Georgia. We have history of 35 years. And now we can say that since that date, it has been currently like the most popular and top-ranked university in Georgia, popular among not only Georgian, but international students too. We are having students from around 40 countries too, worldwide. We're covering all the continents, like we're having many students from United States, Australia, Canada, UK, many Oriental countries. We have many students from India, from Africa, etc. So we're covering all the content. We have students from Japan even, and so all like all parts of the world. It's very international, therefore it's very international, but we do not divide them by nationalities or ethnicities. For us, they're all our like members of the TMA family. We like to meet them in this way. So TMA is currently really is leading university with genuine student-oriented approach. So we have many students supportive services like psychological care, etc. So for those who are homesick, for example, or have some problems initially, you know, it's always not easy to leave your own country and your family, your friends, and go to a far country with different people, with different language skills, etc. Though our university provides a program only in English, so everything will be in English, therefore it will be like very easy probably for your students to adapt to this environment. We have many innovative methods of teaching and learning, like case-based learning, OSCE, TBL, GOTS, etc. So you will know all these words later whenever you will be studying at a medical university. We have cyber patient. We have like cases only from Georgia, from our university, have created the cyber patients scenarios for this kind of network. We have all the facilities you can see on the screen now. We have anatomic table too, of course. We have very well equipped clinical skills center. We're providing scholarships, so I think it's good information for students, for those who are doing very well, like with highest GPA and are socially active, they can profit from the like $1,000 scholarship per semester. So if you study very well, you can get even $2,000 discount. We have very vast network of like international partners. We ourselves are leaders and leading university of several Erasmus projects. Capacity building project. We have many mobility, credit mobilities. We are having many partners again all over the world. We are organizing summer schools, clerkships, where TMA is funding majority of the cost, like round transplantation, accommodation, etc. So trainings are offered for free for students, again for the best ones, again whose GPA is quite high. We have intakes twice per year, as I don't already mentioned. So now we're preparing for the autumn intake. Already call will be open somewhere in May already. We can get, but for with the Medlink, we can even have early intakes again, just to be sure that all Medlink students will be getting places at Tbilisi Medical Academy. Another batch will be in next spring, so in March. But probably now we are preparing for September, autumn intake, we can say. So I'm here to answer any of your questions if you have. So the TMA is Tbilisi Medical Academy, located in the heart of Georgia, in the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi, which is quite old city. We have history of 15 centuries of foundation. So Tbilisi, like quite like old and new at the same time, and very modern. Though we have like mixture of Oriental culture, Western culture, and like with very beautiful balconies, etc. So I think students will enjoy all over the world. Students coming like tourists and then staying or studying. So it's a very popular destination even for like touristic purposes. But of course, when you are staying there, you will benefit all the like things of Georgia. You can see now on the screen. We have a very like a vibrant cultural life events too. We have many festivals. We'll try to celebrate our biggest festivals. Or we have many clubs where students can say there are scientific clubs or food clubs, or there's some like cultural clubs. And the students are trying to study hard, but at the same time to find some time to have fun too. So I'm very pleased again to have this opportunity to meet the Medlink team and students coming through Medlink. I'm here to answer any of your questions or doubts if you have. Thank you very much.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Professor Iya. It's great to have you always
welcome.
join us.
Thank you. Have a nice evening and continuation. Good luck. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was a fantastic look at what TMA has to offer. There's so many great reasons. And I know that one of the things that the students always tell me is the hands-on experience that they have in the early years. It's something I hear every single time. But of course, They help with things like USMLE preparations for students that want to go to the US. It's all included in the course. This is a fantastic way of the students getting all the support. So many reasons. All right, now we shift our focus to one of the most established names in medical education. Dana is going to introduce us to Charles University, the second faculty in Czech Republic, a school with a long-standing reputation and a modern approach to training future doctors. Dana, take us there.
Thank you, Edmund. So yeah, as Edmund said, a very popular option we have is Charles University in Czech Republic. This is one of the very well-established universities we have that a lot of students are interested in. And as you can see in front of you on the screen, some details about it. It's located in Prague. The courses are fully taught in English. The university does have an entrance exam that we help you prepare for. And the tuition fees are around 16,800 euros a year. The university does offer the option for accommodation, whether it's private apartments or basically having hostels. In addition to that, we can look at the living expenses per month. So we can talk about 1,200 euros accommodation plus living expenses. And the next intake for the university is October. So if that's an option or a destination for you, we do recommend to get on a call and discuss it. And I'll invite with us today, we have a representative from the university to tell us more about it. We have a guidance counselor, Anna, joining us today. Anna?
Hi, good evening. Nice to see you all.
Good evening, nice to
be
see
here.
you. So I'll
Yeah.
let you tell us more about the university and what makes it a popular option for students to choose.
Okay, so good evening again. My name is Anna and I'm a guidance counselor at the university. You could also call me a well-being manager. I'm taking care of the students' needs of their accommodation, like if they're looking for dormitories, I'm in charge of that, as well as I'm learning a little, like tutoring a little bit of Czech, but I will talk about this later. In the picture, you can see the Plzeňská campus, which is a place where you will spend the first 3 years of your academic life here in Prague. The other 3 years you will spend at the Motol University Hospital, where we have also lecture halls and where you will be having a block teaching schedule. It means that you will have some theory and for a few weeks, and then you will move into the hospital and you will be shadowing doctors directly in the hospital. Okay, thank you. You can see the lecture halls here in the picture. I will talk about the campus facilities. Our Plzeňská campus, the place where you will spend the first 3 years of your studies, is a very modern and brand new building. The newest part of the building is only 2 years old, and it's equipped with also the anatomage tables, which we highly recommend as a good study material for the students. On the other hand, we do dissections from the very first academic year. We have donors of the bodies, and the students experience doing dissections on the cadavers from the very beginning, which gives a very unique experience to the students to actually have really hands-on the bodies. They can get the good feeling of the human tissue and structure and learn a lot through this experience. We also have well-equipped laboratories where students spend their time doing biology and biochemistry, which you can see in the pictures. To talk a little more about the anatomage table, it's provided for the students as a learning material. So in case of their need, they always have the door open and they can study there on their own. Here in the picture, you see the dissection rooms, who are very modernly equipped. There is a very good sucking system as an air conditioner, which doesn't make you nauseous, I would say. It's done so also people in a wheelchair can scroll down under the table and they can do their praxis there. In the lamps above the table, you can there are cameras, so you can videotape your practice and you can then learn later from what you've been doing. If you've made some mistake, you can look at it from a closer point and be better next time, I would say. Here in the picture, there is the anatomage table, which we, as I said a few times already before, we do recommend it as a study material. On the other hand, it will never replace the human tissue in a way that actually human body will. So we, and you can always do step back on the table. So you can learn a lot from the theory, but the practical experience is always the best if you have hands on the cadavers. Here you see there are the dissections going on, and also we invite doctors from all over Europe and all over the world, also from the model hospital, and they do their practice here before some of their very important or new surgeries. They come here and they train there. And then they also stream their practice if they are doing some new research. They are streaming it to other hospitals and other lecture halls where students are learning directly from the action there. Maybe I will talk a little more about the dissections. The students, they are split into the small groups, and even in those small groups, they are split into for about 4 to 5 students per table with a tutor. The tutor is older student who leads and navigates the students. He still remembers what he was going through when he was dissecting for the first time or at the very beginning. And as you know, the students who are about the same age, they have their own language and they can relate to each other better. And this group is then supervised by the professor. So there's always someone who's in charge of the whole dissection class. But it's good that the students, as they are split into smaller groups, they have enough space and time on the body, and they can learn a lot from that. I would move on. Thank you. Yeah, there are, you can see pictures of the modern facilities we have there. I would say that's a Röntgen. We also have like a surgery hall, like a laboratory that is equipped the way that surgery halls are in the hospital. So again, the doctors come there and they do their practice there to train. Our students are learning from them, and then they use their skills later during the surgeries. If we could move on. Thank you. About the extracurricular activities and the later activities, at the very beginning of the school year, the so-called Freshers Week. It's can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. There was something written on the screen. I'm sorry. The Freshers Week, which gives you 2 credits for taking part in. During the Freshers Week, you will learn some basics of the Czech. You will learn about how to ace the first year, I would say. There will be also older students who will be doing some fun activities in the afternoon. We will go for a trip together, and it ends with the white coat ceremony, which you can see in the picture. The white coat ceremony is like a ritual when the first year students are they will be dressed into the white coats, which will they will be wearing later on during their studies. It's I would say a fun ceremony, as well as, on the other hand, this is the moment when the students should realize how much responsibilities they are putting on themselves while deciding to study medicine, because it's you need to have passion for that, and it's a big responsibility to become a good doctor and then to serve to people. So during the ceremony, I believe the students are taking over the responsibility on themselves. I'm sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mentioned learning Czech. The whole program is taught in English, but as I said, the students will be also shadowing doctors in the hospital. They will need to learn some basics of the Czech language, which is very beautiful language, I must say, Slavic language. and they will be aiming for the language level of A2. Some of them they can go even further if they wish, but they will be learning the basic phrases of how are you feeling? May I measure the temperature? Because they will be visiting the patients in the hospital, like in the later years. And as it is the biggest pediatric hospital in the Central Europe, doesn't mean that we only focus on teaching pediatrics. We also focus the same amount of time on other departments of the medicine. But the children here in the hospital are mostly Czech. So just the basic communication, which makes the relationship between the patient and the doctor, I would say, more familiar or so.
Thank you very much, Anna.
You're welcome.
That's a great explanation. I don't think I can add anything to that. Thanks for joining us today. And as Anna said, it's a great responsibility graduating, and the university supports the students in every way possible to make sure you graduate as a very confident doctor. So
I'm
thank
here
you,
for
Anna.
that. You're welcome. Have a
We
nice
know
evening.
you are, and I think a lot of students now are excited to go just to meet you.
Okay, I'm excited to meet all of you. Have a beautiful evening. Goodbye.
You too. You too. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Now, also, that's not it. It's not just Anna here to tell you more. We also have with us a student, because we know you always like to see students telling you about their experience. And I'm going to call in Vidyut, a student who studies at Charles University.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys?
Hello. So Vidyut, you want to tell us a little bit more about
Mhm.
your experience at the university and yourself? You're a medicine student.
For sure, yeah. My name is Vidyut. I'm a first year at the second faculty of Charles University. And my experience so far has been pretty good. At the start, as everyone is, in high school, I was pretty confused on what I wanted to do, but I was introduced to Medlink and I went through with it, and they gave me a list of every college that was present in Europe. And because I always wanted to go to Europe for my medicine career, so I looked into that and I stumbled upon Charles University. And so I decided to first go look at the country in person. So last year we went on a trip to Czech Republic and I loved it instantly. The nightlife was crazy. You know, if you're old enough, there's bars, there's karaoke bars, there's bowling. And yeah, so I applied and I was lucky enough to skip the entrance exams because I had the SAT scores. But once I got in, everything was good. You have your seniors who help you with everything. You have the professors who are so helpful. You can book meetings with them. You could go and talk to them, see how they're doing. And if you have questions, they'll solve it for you. And if not, they're available. You have the seniors who are always 24/7 there for you. And yeah, so far everything has been pretty smooth, I'd say.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And would you tell us a little bit more about the city, the life?
Yeah,
city?
yeah. So, it's pretty safe. I'd say there's cops around most of the time, even at night, 2, 3 a.m. There's always going to be someone there, but uh, just as long as you keep to yourself and you know don't make any problems, you'll be fine as anywhere. But nightlife in general, it's really good. We had Freshers Week when we came in, where it's just bowling, karaoke, bars, just a way to socialize and make new friends. And we got introduced to this city more through that way, and it was way easier to go like travel alone after that because you already know half the places and you know ways to relax and everything. But yeah, the daytime is nice. During Christmas, we had the Christmas markets, which were amazing. You have your hot wine and everything. So definitely something to check out. And yeah, the weather's getting better, so life is good, I guess.
It seems you're having a great experience there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Vidyut.
No problem.
Thanks for joining us. And moving on from here, we'll discuss a little bit more of why study at Charles University's second Faculty of Medicine. One of the reasons is that their degree is worldwide recognized. It's one of the world's oldest universities with global recognition. And of course, the outstanding research and teaching that they offer the students, as Anna was mentioning, and as Video told us that he's enjoying his course and the professors are very supportive. They do everything they can to make sure that you are successful and you pass from every year to another to graduate as a phenomenal doctor. Plus, of course, the diverse and the global learning atmosphere that you get to experience there. So don't miss out. The university is still available. We can still apply for October 2025 entry. Now, let's move on to our next spotlight option that we have in Hungary. Another popular option we have is University of Pécs. This university is located in Hungary, and their courses are fully taught in English. It's a medicine course that they offer, and they also offer dentistry, and they do have a pre-med also. They do have an entrance exam that, again, we help you prepare for. We have tailored material exclusively for you, prepared by our experts to give you advantage with the application to stand out. And their tuition fees are 15,900 euros a year for medicine and 16,650 euros for dentistry per year. And costs of living usually is around 700 euros a month. And for accommodation, we have private apartment, also another option of university dormitories. And the next intake is October. Also, I'm not going to be telling you a lot about the university. We have with us a representative, which is Dr. Balaz. He's a biochemistry professor, and he will tell us more about the university. Dr. Balaz?
Yes, hello, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever to everyone. And thank you very much for that opportunity to be here and share a few thoughts about my university. I've heard all these previous presentations, all were beautiful. Congratulations for all the universities and the medical studies. And in the meantime, I was thinking about what should I say about the University of Pécs and Pécs itself. I've decided not to talk about the dissection and anatomical practices and whatsoever, because we've heard a lot about this. So let's start with the very brief introduction of the city itself, Pécs. I'm pretty sure that no one of you ever heard about that city. It's a small, lovely historical city, let's say. Okay, so compared to all those big universities in big cities, we have, I think that's one of the biggest advantages that we have at this, like, very small city. It's like 150,000 inhabitants. And in this small city, we have approximately 20,000 university students. So when we say that it's a kind of university student city, we really mean it, because it's really, a huge number of students compared to the size of the city itself. It's a Mediterranean old historical city dated back to the Roman Empire, actually. So when we say that it's a historical city, we really mean it. The university itself is one of the oldest universities, actually, on the world, dated back to the 14th century, and recently we celebrated our 650th anniversary. So when we say that it's a traditional university, we really mean it. About the medical campus, where I'm a teacher and, as you mentioned, a professor of biochemistry, and that's why I have a kind of first-hand experience with the freshmen, because I teach at the first and the second year as well. I wanted to tell details, what kind of online materials we have and what kind of anatomical and 3D printing center and extremely advanced BSL-4 laboratory we have, which is actually the highest biosafety lab category in the world, and there are only a few labs actually at that category in Europe, and one of them is here in our campus. I just made a shortcut, and then I wanted to share actually a recent experience coming from yesterday. So yesterday I've participated in a lecture here at the campus, which was held by Professor Katalin Karikó, I don't know whether it's familiar, that name. She got a Nobel Prize 2 years ago. And she's a Hungarian biochemist. So let's say, in a way, she's a colleague of mine. And she got a Nobel Prize for the messenger RNA-based vaccinations, which was a turning point in the whole pandemic situation a few years ago. And I was so proud to sit here in the lecture room as a professor and listening another professor who is, let's say, now the top biochemist of the world because of this very recent Nobel Prize. And when I was looking around and then just check all the other students and then my colleagues in this lecture room, I thought that this is something what I have to mention when I introduce my university, that this is like a normal afternoon activity to go to a lecture room and listen a Nobel laureate lectures. That was really fantastic. And she is really a lovely person. And that was really an extremely amazing experience. So back to the medical school. It's an international campus, actually, what we have here, because in our medical school, we have 3 parallel programs. One for Hungarian students, one for the English-speaking students, and one for the German-speaking students. And we have equally 1/3 students in each program. So basically, we have to say that at the medical university, we have 2/3 of international students and only 1/3 of Hungarian students. And our international students are coming from more than 70 different countries. So we actually cover the whole world. So whatever is your origin, your location right now, and you come to our campus, you can be sure that you will never alone. I promise it, because you will find someone from the same country, same region, even from the same city, actually. We have a bit more than 30 national and international teaching hospitals as in a network, so our students can go and practice in the 4th, 5th, and 6th year in Hungarian hospitals or hospitals in their home countries to train and practice the language as well, because it's very important that here everything is taught in English. And when you go back to your home country, and we have students, as I mentioned, from South Korea to from Japan, India, or whatever, they have to know their own mother tongues, special language, medical language as well. So it's a good opportunity to get that skill as well. We have for the English program altogether, we have like 1,500 students here in the campus, actually, every day, like in everyday life. And I think that it's really a vivid and very international atmosphere what we have here. Our classes are usually small classes. In certain subjects, it's like 24 students. In other subjects, we have 12 students only in one class. So we have really time. I mean, as teachers, we have really time to spend with the students and be a kind of like more familiar atmosphere compared to a huger or bigger university. And when I mentioned that we have, I mean, a small city and a relatively large campus here, another advantage that I think is very important, actually, that most of our students are living approximately 10-15 minutes walking distance from the campus. So I'm just saying 10-15 minutes walking distance. And when our students came in first year, and just realize it, just think about that students coming from Tokyo and spending normally 2 to 3 hours per day with public transportation. And here they rent a flat 200 meters away from the campus. And they actually wake up in the morning 10 minutes before the lecture starts. And coming to the lecture room, and once they have a free 1 hour gap, they can go home, have a breakfast, have a lunch, have a nap, whatever they want. I think it's something very important, not spending your life on public transportation, but spending your life really with things what really matters. So here at the university, studying or doing parties or whatever like that. But we have a student here from the University of Pécs. I hope that he's gonna explain the student's life aspect as well. much better than me. And this kind of familiar, feeling, it's really everywhere in the city. So me as a professor, when I go downtown, visit a restaurant or a pub, no way not to meet 10 or 15 students and cheering that, hey, professor, how are you? What are you doing? What are you drinking? Whatever. So this is really like we know each other face to face. I mean, almost everyone here in the campus. And I think it's very important because you're going to spend here 6 years. It's an undivided 6-year program, the medical program, and the 5-year program for the dentistry program. And I think it's very important to feel comfortable and feel safe here. And as you know from the news, and let's say you don't know from the news, that Hungary is one of the safest countries in Europe. We usually not in the newspapers because of incidents or accidents or whatever happening here. So, and since it's a very small city, it's even safer. So I would say that it's a good life here. I mean, it's good to be here and study here. We have those nice pictures. I don't want to go deeper. I mean, the details, what kind of clinical features and then simulation labs and whatever we have, because you can check it on our webpage. We have nice pictures and short videos about it. One more thing what I want to emphasize, and I think it's pretty unique for our medical university and for the dentistry program as well, and that's our admission process. We decided years ago that we do not care about your high school scores. Why it's like that? Because we just realized that if you want to compare high school scores from 70 different countries, from 70 different educational systems, it's impossible. No way to do this. So we decided to have our own entrance examination system. And actually, this is the only result what really counts when you come and start your admission process. How does it look like? We have a written and an oral exam, basically from chemistry, biology, English, written test. We have our own online platform, so you can just sign in and do the online test. And then we have an oral part, which is actually a face-to-face interview with one of our professors, most probably actually me, because I am participating in that oral interview process as well. And we have this half an hour, once again, about biology and chemistry topics and talking and knowing each other a little bit, because that's what we want. We want to see our students, we want to speak to our students, we want to meet our students and know a little bit before they come here. Based on these two performances, the written and the oral exams, there is a kind of, evaluation process. And based on this and only this, you got an acceptance or a not acceptance letter later on. It's also important to mention that you have 2 chances to retake an exam if it is somehow it's not successful at the first round. So you have a chance to prepare for better for the next one. You know what is it, and you are more familiar with that. So I think it's pretty important, and it's a good and smooth system, which starts actually the application process the 1st of November, and the end of this process is the end of June. So it's a very long period. So that's why students sometimes just come and try an entrance exam in December, and then, a month or 2 months later, even 3 months later, studying more chemistry or more biology, depending on which were a bit weaker, they can retake the exam and have another chance to get it. So I think this is a pretty unique feature for our university, and it works pretty well actually with the students. So this is like that. As a closing comment, yes, of course, you have to study some Hungarian as well. Yeah, they say that Hungarian is one of the most difficult languages of the world. They listed actually after Chinese, so it's really difficult. They say, I don't know, because for me that was pretty easy. It's a very unique language. They say that this is the only one language in the world which has no real language relative. So there's no other language which are close to Hungarian, and it's pretty beautiful. And I have to say that none of our students had really problem study Hungarian, because they have to do this, of course, communicating with the patients in the 5th and the 6th year, it's very important, but it's not really a burden or a challenge for the students. I would say biochemistry is more difficult than studying Hungarian. So sometimes I say to the students, I mean the high school students, that I'm smiling now, but a few years later, I will be your worst nightmare, because biochemistry is really difficult in the 1st and the 2nd year. Thank you very much for your attention. And I just switched to our student, and I hope that he's going to share some useful thoughts as well. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Dr. Balaz. Thank you for this brief summary about all the details, and a very detailed summary, I'd say, covering everything. Thank you very much. And thanks for joining us today. And as Dr. Balaz said, we do have a student with us today, Victor, who's a 3rd year medicine student. Victor?
Yes. Hi, my name is Victor. Yeah, I'm a 3rd year medical student at the University of Pecs. Yeah, and Professor Balaj was one of my biochemistry lecturers. Yeah, biochemistry it's not the easiest subject, but we managed. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about your experience at the university?
Yeah. Of course, like the way Dr. Balaj said, it's if you like to study in a chill, laid out city, it's a really, really good choice. Because I've been to Budapest a lot of times, and I cannot imagine the kind of chaos that is there, especially for the students, because the hospitals and the departments are all over the city. But here in Pech, actually, like for example, today I came to school at 1 p.m. And what Dr. Balash says is actually true, because I live just a few meters from the school. So if I use my bicycle, it takes me around 4 minutes to get to school. Most of the apartments that students rent are usually around the school. Most of the dormitories are usually around the school, especially around the medical school. It took me, like, when I used to live in the dormitory, I used to live in a dormitory called Santo Dormitory, and it took me approximately 8 minutes to get to class. So it kind of made me sleep in and maybe get late to classes, made me a little bit lazy, but it's kind of an advantage. I can go home to make lunch because it's just nearby. And yeah, and also what he said, the interaction with the teachers and the students is really, really good, because we usually have small groups. And because in my biochemistry class, we were divided into, our whole group was about 20 students, but you're further divided into A and B groups. So we can have a maximum of 8 or 9 students, and the practical classes are really, really interactive. The teachers are usually very friendly, because one of my friends in the 2nd year, I saw her, they made a TikTok video with Dr. Balaj actually. So yeah, the teachers are usually very, very friendly. Maybe if I can talk about the student research, usually it's the University of Fetch. I think they usually pay a lot of attention to research. Most of the teachers in the first lecture, they actually tell you about the research opportunities, and they tell you who to contact if you're interested in research. Especially the anatomy department is very serious, I think, in neuroscience research and hormone research. So, and also I think in the Easter period, in 21st April, there will be the National Hungarian Student Research Conference in Pech. So I think if you are interested in research, which I think is really, really important as a medical professional, the University of Pech is really, really important for that. And also, like the way Dr. Balash explained yesterday, Dr. Katalin Karipo, the Nobel Prize winner, was actually here for giving a lecture. And about the sports, there are a lot of sports. They also have PE classes, like any sport I think that you can think of, because we have horse riding, there are shooting sports, we have a swimming pool near the school, we have archery, shooting the arrows. There are so many sports. Personally, I took the hiking sports. I really, really enjoyed hiking, because since Pech is like a city surrounded by nature, the mountains are usually very, very beautiful to walk around, especially in spring when you can see the flowers and the green grass, and maybe when the sun comes out, it looks really, really beautiful. So if you are a person who is kind of into nature, it's a really, really friendly city to walk and also to bike. But since I was in my first year, I usually use a bicycle around the city. It's a really, really bike-friendly city. And in the weekends, we can go and hike around. So yeah. And about the art and culture, we usually have a lot of like the way Dr. Balaj said, it's a historical country. I think it's in the UNESCO site, a historical city. So they have many programs, both Hungarian and English programs, the National Theatre. There are usually a lot of festivals. We usually have, actually yesterday we had like a spring festival in the medical school. So it's a festival where medical students who have different talents can come together and present what they have. So teachers, staff, students, lecturers, if you can play the piano, if you can sing, if you can dance, we usually have kind of like a spring concert and a fall concert where you can showcase your talent. Yeah.
Sounds like you're having a great experience there.
Yeah, yeah, it makes the stress of medical school less stressful.
And since you spoke about the theory classes and the research, you're in third year of study, so you're already familiar with the clinical practical training that's part of your program. Could you share with us what practical training you've already completed and what training you anticipate receiving?
Yeah. Actually, I've already done 2 practical trainings in my first year and my second semester. I had a nursing practice for 1 month, and I also had a GP practice. So in the nursing experience, I had to go and shadow a nurse to just get to know the basics of a nurse as before you become a medical doctor. And yeah, as Dr. Barre said, we usually learn medical Hungarian, and it actually came into good use. In the first 2 years, we usually have about 4 to 6 semesters of medical Hungarian. So you usually learn the basic Hungarian, how to greet people, how to survive like in the streets, and you also learn the more complex and technical Hungarian. So my experience, I can say it was good because I went to the hospital. It's the 400-bed hospital. It's one of the specialist hospitals in Pech, and I got opportunity to shadow the nurses. And in my GP practice, I got a GP in one of the small villages around Pech who spoke English, and I got to shadow her for 1 week, and I got to see patients with her and had an experience of how it feels like as a GP. And also in my third year, I've also had in my third year in the last semester, I also had an internal medicine practice where we now see the hospital as a doctor part. And yeah, the medical Hungarian really, really came into help because we finished the medical Hungarian in the second semester. So by the beginning of the third year, we actually were able to take up patient history, and you can really feel how it is to be like a doctor with using the stethoscope and touching patients. Yeah.
Great. Well, that's very exciting to hear that. And I think so many students are excited to inquire more about this university already. Thank you very much, Victor and Dr. Balaz for joining us today. And I will talk about why study at Pech, even though you guys mentioned everything possibly could be mentioned. But some of the popular reasons why study there is that the university meets the requirements of the GMC in the UK and it's worldwide recognized. It's internationally recognized, accredited by the World Federation of Medical Schools, Medical Education, sorry. They have modern facilities, as Victor was explaining to us how much he's enjoying his classes there. And the support that they offer the students and the opportunities for the growing number of international students that they attract. So don't miss out. The university is still available. We can still apply for you to start your studies in October 2025. And we'll move on to our next Spotlight University, one of the very exciting options in the Caribbean that we have. And that's the University of Health Sciences School of Medicine in Antigua and Barbuda. The university has a medicine course, and it's known to be a 4-year program, in addition to having a pre-med for students who don't have a bachelor's degree. If you're a high school graduate, the university has put together a pre-med course for you, which is 1 year. Tuition fees are 14,000 euros a year. However, we have an exclusive offer or an exclusive partial scholarship offered by the university for students applying with Medlink, where your tuition fees can drop down to 6,000 euros with Medlink per year for the pre-med. And for the medicine course, it's around 28,500 euros a year. But your tuition fees applying through Medlink drops drastically down to 8,000 euros a year. And living expenses, as you can see in front of you on the screen, is around 1,300 euros per month, which is very affordable for such an amazing place, an amazing experience. I don't want to spoil it. I want to introduce with us today, we have representative, Dr. Flores. He will tell us more about the university and the city and how beautiful it is.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very
Nice to
good,
meet
very
you.
good. And welcome everybody. Well, welcome to the University of Health Sciences Antigua. We are located in the beautiful island of Antigua, in the nation of Antigua and Barbuda. It's a nation made of 2 islands. Antigua is the main one, is where our campus is located. And we were founded in 1982. That means that our university is one of the oldest Caribbean medical schools. Our curriculum is based in US and European curricula of medicine. And the university is located in a beautiful area of the university called Nelson's Harbor. And this area is full of fine dining, nice restaurants, shopping, beaches, which is very important because not all the time that you're going to be spending on the island is going to be studying. You need some time to relax. So beaches, they say that we have 365 beaches on the island, one for every day of the year. We also have well-known faculty members that have outstanding credentials. And one thing that is very interesting is that we are the only minority-owned university in the Caribbean. So that means that we give a lot of emphasis to diversity and inclusion in our university. So our curriculum, okay, has been designed taking into consideration the need for knowledge of today's physicians and nurses, okay? This is a significant factor because it is important, it's very important to acquire this knowledge in passing licensing examinations, not only in the UK, but anywhere in Europe and in the US, okay? We have students that are practicing medicine in a lot of countries around the world, in a lot of specialties, including psychiatry, surgery, internal medicine, pediatrics, family medicine, okay? And you see here, and this is me, the teacher that you have in front of you, it's me teaching the students about electrocardiography, second-year student, okay? As you can see, I'd like to call us a boutique medical school because of the close contact between faculty and students. You are not a number at our university. You are part of a family. And in families, parents want their sons and daughters to learn as much as they can so they're competitive in life. That is exactly the way we feel here at the University of Health Sciences Antigua. That's why our mode of teaching is not only close, and it's also problem-based learning. I always say that doctors, by definition, are problem solvers. So that's how we teach you. We teach you with problems, and you learn to solve those problems, meaning that we give you the knowledge, but you have to solve the patient's problems throughout that knowledge. Okay? So we also have, for your later years, very good practical teaching and very good hospital affiliations throughout Europe, Africa, Canada, and the United States. Okay? Our program is divided into 4 years. Okay? The first 2 years are for your basic sciences, that's the building blocks of medicine. And the second 2 years are the clinical sciences, in which you do your rotations in first the core rotations in internal medicine, surgery, pediatrics, psychiatry, family medicine, and OBGYN. And then the last year is dedicated to your electives, in which you select what rotations you want to do, usually 4 weeks each. Okay. So we also have they have here the campus facilities. We have two things that are one that is very common among universities, which is a simulation center and what we call the clinical skills teaching and assessment unit. In that we have a state of the art, and you have a picture here of our standardized patient unit, in which you will have contact with standardized patients. Standardized patients are patients that are normal people that have been trained into portraying diseases, and you can take histories, perform physical examinations, and come to differential diagnosis, prepare plans, everything for those patients before you see real patients. The one that is unique to our institution is the free clinic of English Harbor. Okay, in the free clinic of English Harbor is a clinic that is managed by students under the supervision of faculty, but it's managed by the students, meaning that the students are the ones that make the schedules, are the ones that basically administer the clinic. Okay, and also through service learning, they see patients and they learn from those patients. So it's a 360-degree opportunity of learning, not only the part of medicine that is the part of medicine where you see patients, but also the administration and all those things about medicine. Our campus is very important to know that we have 24 hours, 7 days a week security. Okay, our campus is very, very big. It includes all the administrative and faculty offices. We have indoor and outdoor high-speed internet access for everybody. We have the simulation laboratories, as I said. We have a student library, and we have a state-of-the-art online library that it is probably one of the best libraries in medical schools in the whole Caribbean. We offer housing for students, which is very important because housing is inside our campus. So in the morning, your commute is very easy, but you can also rent, if you want to, an apartment outside of the university. The university has a cafeteria, okay? We have a student lounge for all our students. And very important, we have a very good gym, fitness facilities, and we have a soccer field in the university. We have basketball facilities. We have volleyball activities. So we have a lot of things that you can do whenever you're not studying. Our campus, the rooms, the housing has been recently remodeled. They all have a refrigerator, some with microwave. Some have private bathrooms. They have a patio. They have balconies. Okay. They have laundry facilities that you can use, and if you want to, they can offer you also cleaning services for your rooms. The university is accredited by the Antigua and Barbuda Accreditation National Board. Is recognized by ECFMG. Is recognized by the World Federation of Medical Education, and is listed in FIMER. We're also recognized and accredited by the Medical Council of Canada and the Medical Council of the UK, the GMC. So that is very important because once you're done, you will be able to practice medicine in the UK. We also, as Dana said, we also have a pre-med program. So if you haven't completed your prerequisites to enter medical school, you can enter a pre-med program, which is very important. It's a 1-year program, and is designed for students that have graduated from high school to obtain the MD degree. Once you complete your pre-med program, you enter automatically into the MD program. You don't have to take any tests. You don't have to apply. It is a natural transition between the pre-med program and the MD program once you complete your requisites of the pre-med program. And it is a program that is designed to be accepted in the US and in Europe, this pre-med program. And we are proud that our first class of pre-med that started a few months ago has entered the medicine program recently. Actually, they're in the first trimester of medicine right now. Any questions?
Actually, I think we went over everything. Thank you very much for all this detailed explanation about everything of the course and telling us about the activities that students can do. As you can all see, the island is beautiful, lots of nice activities to do. And thank you for joining us, Dr. Flores.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to hear from you. And we'll talk a bit about why you should study at this university. What are the exciting parts of it is how much, as Dr. Flores said, it's a very old university and a very reputable institution known for its strong academic programs and research initiatives in health sciences that you get to experience there. They're very well experienced university, old and been there for so long, helped thousands of students and doctors who are currently successful doctors working in different countries of the world. The university is very diverse. We have students, we've helped so many students from different parts of the world go there. So it's a very diverse campus. And of course, the global recognition that you can get when you get a degree over there. So very good option, also still available for October 2025. Don't miss out. Let's get on a call and discuss how we can help you join there. Now, next up.
One second. We're available also. We have a class in May, and you have time still to apply for May.
That's right. Yes, we do have 3 intakes a year at this university, January, May, and October. Thank you for that, Dr. Flores. So if you're looking to start as soon as possible, let's get on a call. We can help you start your studies in May. So moving on from here, another excellent option or choice for your studies is Poznan University in Poland, which you'll hear more about it from Edmund.
Thanks, Dana. Wow, what a night. We've seen an amazing array of universities, representatives, students. The questions are all coming in. This is amazing. I'm really enjoying that. All right, now let's head to the north of Poland, one of Central Europe's most established, internationally recognized universities. So Poznan University of Medical Sciences. Now let's dive straight in. Now, PUMS, or Poznan University, is the university that really stands out for anyone that's serious about medical and dental education abroad. Now, it's one of the oldest and most respected universities in Poland. They offer English taught programs, whether it's medicine or English, and it's recognized across the US, UK, EU, and beyond. Now, whether you're aiming to return home after your graduation or explore residencies abroad, Poznan gives you the tools. They support you and they give you the credentials just to do that. Now, one of the reasons that stands out for Poznan is its global recognition. Now, the graduates from there currently work in the UK, Ireland, the US, Canada, across Europe. Now, each year, around 15 to 35 graduates successfully return and come back to the UK and also go to Ireland. Now, if you're aiming to go to the US, you'll be pleased to know that Poznan has a 100% match rate for students who are entering the US residency programs, which is significantly higher than most international universities. Now, in short, this is just a university that opens doors wherever your career might take you. Now let's talk about something equally as important, support. Now at Poznan, the support goes beyond just the academics. They have free mental health services on campus, counseling, and a range of student well-being programs. And that's designed to help you thrive and not just survive. You'll also get access to premium preparation tools like Kaplan, USMLE, Human, which will help you build your confidence as you prepare for licensing exam. And add to that friendly and active student support network. And really, you've got an environment that you've never left to figure things out on your own. You've also got us on the ground with you, with our community supporting you if you need anything. Now, of course, the university's experience isn't just about lectures and labs and practical classes. The student life is really vibrant and is full of the opportunities for you to connect to other students. From the formal white coat ceremony that marks the beginning of your medical journey to joining the school clubs, the music groups, the cultural events. There's just something for everyone. Now, the International Student Network is active and they're quite tight-knit, just like our community of students. And they have events and initiatives that make it easier to build friendships and really feel at home. So while you're focused on your studies, you'll also be creating great memories that go far and beyond just the classroom. So when it comes to downtime, Poznan really delivers. Because you get access to things like the sports facilities, the arts, music, societies, language exchange groups. So whether you want to stay active, whether you want to explore new hobbies or meet like-minded people, you're pretty much sorted. Now, students will regularly organize get-together, cultural nights, and even like thought trips. So there's kind of a balance here for every student. And it's key to really avoiding things like burnout and building a well-rounded university experience. So why study at Poznan, you say? Well, it's a blend of academic excellence and real-world outcomes. The university really has a strong history of producing graduates who go on to practice medicine and dentistry in the UK and Ireland and the US and beyond. And the teaching really is very good. They provide a very high quality and comprehensive, and the facilities are world class. But more than that, is a place that genuinely prepares you for your journey ahead. So from day one, where we assist you with the process, getting in, preparing for the exam, and even after, backed by the university, they're really here and invested into your success. So applications are open. The university also works on a first come, first served basis. So if you are looking at really joining the school, then let us get in touch. We can talk about the university, the exam, the preparation, and what matters in terms of getting you there. Now, we've covered quite a lot tonight, from how international degrees are recognized, how they're structured, to which universities are most popular, what student life looks like on ground. But if there's one thing to take away, it's the journey, and that's possible. And you don't have to walk it alone. Universities like Poznan, TMA, UHSA offer you the foundation, and then Medlink Students provides you the roadmap. From the entrance exam preparation to interviews to graduation and everything in between. So what's next? Let's bring the focus back on you. And let's bring the spotlight back to you, your goals, your questions, and your future. Now, we know that every student's journey is unique. Different backgrounds, grades, ambition, and that's why it always starts with a conversation. A phone call. We'll talk about your subjects, what you studied, your university preferences, your career goals, any concerns, any uncertainty that you might have. Now, from there, we narrow down to the best options for you. And it's not just based on the entry requirements, but also lifestyle, budgets, and your long-term plans. Now, if you're unsure where to start or you just need some clarity, our expert advisors are here to help you figure it out step by step. Now, let's take a closer look at how we support you beyond just the first conversation. Once you've chosen the university, The next step can feel a little bit like a whirlwind. Paperwork, translations, notarization, deadlines, that's where we step in. Now, think of Medlink Students as your admissions team behind the scenes. We handle all of the admin, managing your documents, translating, legalizing, ensuring that everything is accurate and submitted on time. Now, if your university requires an entrance exam or an interview, you won't be going in blind. We'll prepare you with tailored materials, mock exam materials, and experts coaching so you feel confident walking in. And then you'll feel proud walking back out. Now, our goal is really simple. Now, that's to make the application process as smooth and stress-free as possible, so you can stay focused on your future. Now, when you land in a new country, it's quite exciting, but it can also be overwhelming. And that's why we have our support team continue to help you when you arrive there. Now, it continues the moment you arrive at the airport. We'll help you settle into your accommodation, set up things like a local bank account, a local SIM card, arrange your medical insurance for you, and get you oriented with your new surroundings. You will also be introduced to other international students, so you never feel like you're going through it alone. Now, our local support teams, which is made up of current students, even former students, they know the ropes, and then they understand all of the things that make a difference in helping you feel at home. Now, once you settled in and you started your course, our support also still continues, because we understand that academic life abroad comes with its challenges. So whether it's adapting to a new teaching style, keeping up with exams, or just managing your well-being, that's why we stay by your side. When you need help with your time management or navigating the university's administration system, we're here. Facing any tough or you need just to chat to someone, we're still here to support you for that. And when you join the Medlink Student Organization, you're not joining just a service. You're becoming part of our community. You're becoming part of a network of students, mentors, and advisors who really understand what you're going through, because we've all been there. And you'll be connected to our fellow students across places in Europe and in the Caribbean, and you'll benefit from all of the shared experiences as well. You take part in things like workshops, clinical skills sessions, and exam preparations. And that's all designed to keep you moving forward. So wherever you are in your journey, you will always have us in your corner. Now, let me tell you about something that we're incredibly proud of, which is our Student Success Program, or SSP. Now, it's not just about getting you into a medical or dental school. It's really about helping you thrive from your first day all the way to graduation and beyond. So with the SSP, you'll receive personalized university guidance, which is tailored to your academic background and your career goals. You get full admissions support, including the exam preparation and interview coaching. You also get on-ground support when you arrive, from settling in, finding somewhere to live, and really finding your way around, and ongoing academic and emotional support throughout your studies. And then when you're done, we also help you with things like registration with the Medical Council back in the UK. And remember, when you join the SSP, you're not just joining you're also joining a powerful network of students, doctors, mentors, who have basically been through the entire path. Now, over 15,000 students have used the SSP to achieve their dream courses. And that's with 99% of the success rate. This is something I get asked quite a lot. And it's one of the proven pathways out there to becoming a doctor or a dentist. Now, it's over to you. This is the moment where you get to ask us anything, from entrance exam to application to what a day in life is as a student. There's no such thing as a silly question. If it's on your mind, it's worth asking. And really, if you prefer to have a one-on-one conversation after this webinar, just scan the QR code on your screen. Then it'll take you to a preferred page, and then you'll be able to personalize a consultation. You can book a call with one of our expert advisors who will talk through your options, your next steps, and your goals. We're here to help you wherever we can. Now, before we wrap up, We'll go through the questions, of course, and then I'll introduce the offer that we have going for you. All right. So let's go through some of the questions that there's been so many questions that's been coming through. So one of the questions that's been asked is, are the exams hard in Germany? What if I fail an exam? Now, this is a fantastic question for Suhani. Suhani, are you with us?
Yes, I am. So the exams, I wouldn't say they are completely easy, but then if you study, of course, you are gonna do it. However, in case you fail an exam at the first time, you get 2 more chances to give it, which is fair enough because the more you study, the more you become better at it, and you can do it. Yeah.
And of course, I know medical school is tough, so we're not saying it's going to be easy, but how have you found, of course, a subject that you found it a little bit challenging, and what did you do?
I would say the most challenging subject for me was anatomy, because that's a subject that you first come to your med school and it's something so new for you. Of course, it's in the beginning, it was difficult, and how I overcome it was by practicing every single day. We have counseling hours scheduled for every day of the week in our university, where you can go to your labs or you can have one-on-one consultation sessions with your professors, and they're always there. They sit down and they clarify all your queries. So that's how it helped me.
Ah, fantastic. Thank you very much. I know there are more questions coming in, but this is the first one that's coming for you. Thank you. All right, let's move on to the next question. So many questions that are coming in. All right, so this question is for you, Victor, and this is about the clinical practice. How have you found your experience in terms of clinical practice being there?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, I've actually kind of enjoyed my clinical practice. I know most of the people's what is usually the language, the Hungarian. But yeah, we usually before we get to the third year is the pre-clinical year. We usually have about 4 semesters of medical Hungarian, which is thorough medical Hungarian. So when you get there to talk to the patient, you can actually check a history. And usually the teachers who teach you are usually fluent in English. So you have no problem understanding the patient. And if there is any issue or any problem with the language, the teacher is usually there to clarify. We usually have, I've been to a number of departments. We have the hospital departments are usually spread. So been to the 400-bed hospital, I've been to the internal medicine department, I've been to the cardiology department. Yeah, and I've enjoyed my medical practice. And actually, before we go to the medical practice, we have a simulation lab where we kind of do our simulations before we get to interact with the real patients. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it really sounds like you really settled into the school there and you immersed yourself into the experience, which is what it's about. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right. So this question is for Vidyut. Apologies if I've mispronounced your name. Are you still with us?
Yeah, hi. Still with you.
Hello. Okay. So you're still quite fairly early into your journey.
Yeah.
You're just finishing up your first year,
Mhm.
which is such a formative time. And I know students watching tonight really want to know what it's been like for you. So what's been the experience like? Can you give us kind of a glimpse of your day-to-day schedule as a
Sure.
medical student?
So for now, we have the subjects I have are anatomy, histology, embryo. Together, they're combined, they're called AHE, AHE. And then you have, of course, Latin, medical terminology. You have Czech, and you have other subjects like bioethics, biophysics, stuff like that. And they're all pretty easy, but I'd say anatomy, histo, and embryo, AHE is pretty the core subject. So it definitely takes more time than other subjects. Typically around a day, I study for around 10 to 12 hours. which is, I think every student has to put in that time. And yeah, school starts at 8 a.m. sometimes and ends at anywhere between 12 to 5. So it's a short day, and you're separated into groups. So it's like 20 people per group, and there's around 10 groups. So I'm a group representative for mine, study group 4. So I manage like problems, and we have every month we have faculty ears, where meetings where you just all the reps, they come in, they talk about the problems the groups have, the students have in general, about the faculty, about the exams, stuff like that. And yeah, every Monday you usually have anatomy tests, which is the main test you are studying for more than anything. But yeah.
Fantastic. It looks
Mhm.
like they're slowly creeping the subjects in, huh? Which is good.
Yeah, yeah, as it always has happened. So.
Fantastic. So, a question that gets asked, and when I talk to students, the thing that they think about safety, how's it going to be great for me when I'm there? And of
Mhm.
course, as you've been there now,
Mhm.
is there sort of a language barrier for you as a student?
I'd say mostly not. Sometimes it gets pretty in like the local like areas like outside the country, like the towns. There are people who don't know English and you kind of have to creep it right through. But I live near the center, so everybody knows English. So it's not much of a problem, but I've only been here 6 months and I know how to get my way through things. So they say Czech is one of the hardest languages, but when you live here, you kind of slowly adapt to it and you'll be fine. Language barriers are a thing for anywhere, but Czech is definitely a easy way to get through. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Really, really informative. Thank you.
for
All
sure.
right. So, the next question that's come in is how competitive is the admission process for UK students? What are my chances of being accepted? Great question. Now, compared to UK medical schools, international universities, they offer more of a flexible entry route and often more availability. Now, make no mistake, this doesn't mean it's a walk in the park. You still need to meet academic requirements. You still need to pass exams, interviews in many cases, but your chances are much higher with the right support. And that's exactly where we come in, because we match you with the right universities based on your profile, and we support you through the application process to give you the best shot at the success that you need. So whether you're worried that you don't have the right grades or the right subject, that's okay. This is what the conversations are about. And that's to understand who you are, where you need to be, because hey, you're not going there for 2 weeks. You're going there for a significant amount of years. And we want to support you as much as we can. All right. So, what is the next question? And this is a question for Faisal. Are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming back. Now, we're getting a lot of students asking about Germany, and a lot of students are asking about the clinical practice and what is like in terms of that. Can you talk us through what is like in terms of the clinical experience for all the students there?
Yeah, for sure. So our clinical phase starts from the third year onwards. And during the second year, students have the opportunity to choose which hospital they'd like to do their training in. So we have a total of over 40 teaching hospitals that train our students. And then during the second year, we invite all the hospitals on campus, and we actually had this happening 2 weeks ago. They all come on campus, they introduce themselves and talk to the students about who they are, what they offer. And then the students, they make a short list of their top 5, and they usually get assigned to their first choice. If not, then a second choice. And then from the third year onwards, for a majority of the semester, they will be actually in the hospitals full time, doing their training. And so they are, involved into the day to day, and they receive logbooks where it's mentioned what exactly they have to cover and how many hours they need to do. So that then gets signed and stamped by the supervisors at the hospitals, and that's how they, receive their credits for that. But, if whoever's interested wants to get a clearer picture, they can always, watch the YouTube videos on our UMCH YouTube channel where we follow some of our students during their clinical training, and that will give you guys a better idea of what exactly they get up to during the training.
Ah, brilliant. Thank you. Speaking of what they get up to, this is a question that's come in as well, is what societies are there for students?
Societies, I mean, as Sahani mentioned right at the beginning, we do have the South Asian Society, because, to be frank, we have a large South Asian community on campus, and when it comes to after our student clubs and, societies and associations, all of that is student organized and student led. So if, for example, you're a first year student and you feel like, I need to create this group or this society, and you have enough people that are interested and they want to join you, then by all means, you'll get the green light from us and you can organize it yourselves and, use the facilities or do things on the campus or, outside of the campus, and it's entirely up to you. The same applies to the sports teams. I mean, I know we do have, the yoga club we have for those that are interested in yoga, but we also have a football team. And I mean, if you're someone that's interested in lacrosse and you have, a couple of other guys and girls that do lacrosse, then by all means create the UMCH lacrosse team and practice once or twice a week, and also sign up for local games and tournaments.
Oh, fantastic. Looks like there's a lot to do when you're there. It's not just going to be about studies every day.
Most definitely, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Faisal. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All right. So many questions coming in. I think the best thing I would advise all of you guys to do who still have more questions is to have a call with us. Scan the QR code. It's a lot more personal and it's personal to you. So it's not general like this where we can't talk about, you have an overview. This will be more talking about where we want to take you in terms of the universities, what's good, which ones will be suitable for you. So scan the QR code, and these calls are free. Now, before we wrap up, I want to highlight something that's quietly made a big difference for hundreds of students. We've brought back our exclusive 2-for-1 offer. Now, it's only available for a limited time. Here's how it works. When you begin your journey with Medlink Students, you'll have the opportunity to apply to a second school at no extra cost. Now, this means more options, more flexibility, and double your chances to secure a place this year without the additional paperwork or the stress on your part. We'll prepare the document, we'll guide you through the entrance exams, we'll handle the applications, both of them, with the same level of expert support. Now, the offer is available for a limited number of eligible universities, but we'll help you choose the ones that are the best fit for your goals. It's limited for the first 50 students, all until next Thursday. So whichever one comes first. Now, to claim it, just scan the QR code on the screen, or you can head to medlinkstudents.com/2-for-1. And that's the number 2, the word 4, and 1. Now, if you've been waiting for the right moment, this might be it. So make sure you take advantage of this offer. Okay, and that brings us to the end of tonight's webinar. So whether you're still exploring your options or ready to take the next step, remember, you don't have to figure it all out on your own. We've helped thousands of students take this leap, and we're ready to help you too. Now, a big thank you to our university guests and to the students who share their journeys with us tonight. Your insight makes all the difference. And if there's something you're still wondering about, maybe a question that you didn't get asked to ask, or our team is a message away or a call away. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Whether you're joining us from Lagos, London, Dubai, Dublin, we wish you clarity, courage, and all the success that you've worked so hard for. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.